I've noticed Central Florida is very heavily split into two distinct camps, one of which I find myself included as a native Floridian. I actually don't mind the occasional chill or walking outside and it's fairly cold in the morning, but then in the afternoon it's comfortable to where if I want to work in the garage or go outside for a workout or take the family out and about during the afternoon, early evening hours, we're not going to freeze up, but we're also not going to break a sweat during the first 5 minutes. Then there's the other camp who come to Central Florida or who naturally reside in Central Florida, the Sunshine State after all, who like the natural warmth that we typically see year round. I hate to say it, but Mother Nature is most definitely going to embrace either ends of the spectrum here very soon as we get into next week. We're going to be into a warming trend as we go through this weekend, the last full weekend of January already. But then look at these morning lows on Friday. Notice that there is a huge difference, a huge change that's coming down the pike, and you can see where that nasty, thick layer of Arctic/polar high pressure is going to sink its way out of Canada into the upper United States, where you can see temperatures rapidly fall off. And they're almost a 40-degree difference than where we are right now. If I were to show you the actual national temperatures for this very moment, I'm shooting this update about 11 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. This is anywhere between 40 to 50 degrees colder than where we are now. Now, these are obviously your overnight lows, so this will be as the sun is coming up, but you kind of get the gist of what I'm putting down here. Now, as we get to the end of January, these below average temperatures are going to stick around. And in fact, for our friends to the north of our viewing area in the upper Florida Peninsula and the Panhandle, the Big Bend, we are likely to remain fairly below average, if not well below average, through the 31st of January and then into February 1st, and a little after that. My birthday's February 1st. I can't believe it's sneaking up on me, to tell you the truth. This is what we're looking at, courtesy of Climate Prediction Center. It looks like this reinforcing dome of cold weather, cold air that's going to come down out of Canada and settle in over the eastern half of the U.S. is going to reinforce that upper trough. The jet stream is driven very heavily by temperatures. That's what creates it in the first place, where your coldest temperatures are versus where the warmest temperatures are. In between there is where you get that belt of very strong winds that we call the jet stream. And in this case, because we're going to have all this cold surface and mid-level air coming down where it really isn't supposed to be, the jet has to react and it's going to come down with it and it's going to stay there for a while. When you look at our 10-day temperature trend, we're going to be going back and forth. You can see a nice warm-up headed for the weekend. Look at Saturday's high temperature there, about 81 degrees. Then a comfortable Sunday in store for us as that cold front comes through late Sunday into Monday, and it's going to take a little bit for the coldest air to catch up. With these very thick but shallow air masses, there's a bit of a grade, like a slope, if you will. So even though the immediate leading edge of that cold front will rock through us, it'll take a little bit. There's a little bit of a lag back behind it for the coldest air to finally work its way into our viewing area. Now, I want to also show you what next Tuesday could look like once the coldest temps work their way in. And yes, for our northwestern counties, once again, that very familiar, if you cut Central Florida diagonally from the I-4 corridor, you look northwest of there, from the attractions further northwest, that's where it looks like our temperatures could come down to near freezing, if not wind chill. Feels like temperatures will absolutely drop us below freezing once again.